Well, how's it going, Kingsman? Welcome back to another glorious NTW3 battle. This is, of course, from the best mod in Napoleon Total War 3, Napoleonic Total War 3, which short for NTW3. But, yeah, today we are on a historical map of La Rothiere, and of course, we may not have the historical cores, but we do have some Russian-themed armies, especially Russia 10. They are going to be very comfortable in this cold, snowy weather. And they are going to be accompanied by a 8-point Austria and a... Actually, I think they're all 8-point... Yeah. 2 8-point Austrias and a 10-point UK, Portugal, España. A lot of UK infantry in this build, but they brought the cavalry of Spain, which is kind of interesting to see. In Portugal, I believe, maybe some Portuguese. Nah, it's still Spanish cav. Not the greatest, not the worst, you know. So we'll see what's happening. It does look like the coalition have a plan formulated here. So they have Russia 10 pushing on the right here, and then this Austria pushing on the left, and then one going in the center. So this 10-point Russia is going to be kind of striking out on their own. There is, of course, a little bit of cavalry support pushing up on the left side of this Russian army. So, you know, they could focus all their cavalry on this right side. They are, of course, coming into contact with the first of the French. You have a cavalry, probably Hussar or Chasseur Cheval. A light cav trying to scout things out. Actually, that may be some Chevaliers. Maybe some Bavarians in the mix here, but he's running forward. Maybe he can try to chase down some of those cavalry. Now he's going to run off. And we do have the French rolling out. So we got, what, light infantry, skirmishers. Oh, is that Imperial Guard? I think it is. Yep. Oh, I like the officer. Man, he looks like he should be a general with that kind of a uniform. Woo-wee. On this other side, we do have the French. They are pushing up as well, scouting out, seeing where the enemy's going to be positioning themselves. You never know. You know, scouting is super crucial in a battle of this size. On the maps this big, scouting is everything. Oh, what? As soon as I left, the Kazakis charged in against what looks like some skirmishers, maybe, or some cavalry. Probably some cavalry here. Yeah, looks like they were engaged by some more Chevaliers. And it looks like the Cossacks definitely came out on top. Did they kill a single enemy cav unit? That's a pretty disastrous defeat there. But oh, you can see that, excuse me, Russia has horse artillery, 2 of them, and infantry as well pushing up here. Probably gonna try to hold this LOC. Looks like he's kind of split. Russia is split up in 3 different locations. You have this whole area, which actually is pushing up, so actually maybe 2. He may be trying to hold between these 2 buildings. Have an artillery on the side. The nice thing is there's a flanking river. There's only so far the enemy can push up, and you can defend. You know, that's a nice screening defensive flank. So using the terrain to your advantage, you know, super important here. But we do see a lot of the French cavalry making their appearance here. Got mostly dragoons. Look at all the dust. I mean, it's interesting to see. It's a winter map, but you see a lot of flowers. You know, a lot of purple and yellow flowers. So maybe this is a special kind of winter road flower. Who knows? Does look like they put some skirmishers in this LOC, as they are now Austria establishing themselves on the far left side. So it does look like, in a kind of zoomed out view here, you do see the coalition has a line of communications, if I can actually talk, a line of communications along this road to La Rothiere, and then of course along to here, and then up and through here. So they're holding the road, basically. I mean, roads are actually a really good point to defend right in front of, I would say. So maybe, you know, the coalition probably, hopefully will get a push up a little bit outside. Link up even, imagine if they could do this building to this building. Just a nice long line. You have roads, shuttle cap, infantry, artillery, back and forth rapidly as needed. Of course, the next thing I was going to find out is what kind of cavalry both sides are bringing, especially in 9.0, 9.3. The heavy cav is very, very good. Very important in my opinion, at least to have at least some heavy cav on both sides. We've seen in a previous battle, Austria actually being able to defend themselves against multiple heavy cavalry attacks because they had heavies of their own. Now we do have an engagement here, Lancers and Dragoons who kind of charged forward, forcing the Austrians back. So they've kind of pushed up and taken a little bit more territory here from the coalition. Now there is reinforcing cavalry in the back, but the Austrians did not waste their cav in a futile, in my opinion, cav engagement. You don't want to just throw away your cavalry in the very beginning. It is something you see quite a bit. People throw their cavalry in the very beginning, and then they have no cavalry to defend themselves. I think a very strong move is keeping your calves safe. You notice even here on this right side, Russia may have, pushing up a light cav or two to scout, but their dragoons are back behind their infantry lines, and they are holding back their cav, just like Austria is. They're keeping their cav back. They want to keep it safe. That way, if there's any engagements later on down the road, especially as a coalition, because the French, if they know how to play the French faction, they will try to get in melee, especially in this town. Actually, this is somewhere Austria's going to be very, very cautious defending, just because the streets are narrow. It's easy for France to get up close and then charge around buildings and get your infantry before they can really get effective lines of fire. Get those effective volleys rolling in. You're not going to inflict enough casualties on the French. Look at these guys, though. Very nice. Oh, you see the cav. We're moving all around in the background. But yep, the French are making their appearance. Holy cow. They got some artillery coming forward. Looks like some Swiss infantry. More light infantry, some carabiniers. Skirmishers as well. Skirmishers in coordination with cavalry is a very good strategy. People have, it's happened to me, and I've been on both ends of this. Cavalry will charge at the skirm, and if the skirms haven't fired, they can actually get a very deadly volley at point-blank range, decimating a cav unit, and then if you have a cav defending that skirmisher unit, they will, do an effective job pushing up. Now, the French are in the midst, it looks like, of assaulting this area. This town, they have some grenadiers. The reason that I know they're grenadiers is the red hats. You see these red bands. That is a grenadier unit. This is probably España, so an 8-point France pushing up. You can see Austria. Oh my goodness, the building's getting in the way of my mouse. Austria is pulling back, actually. They do not want to take this. Now, France most likely is going to go for this LOC, and these skirmishers are going to die so fast. Oh no, my apologies. They're not. They're pioneers. They're sappers. It's actually a really good unit to defend this LOC. I thought they were skirmishers for a second. But let's see. France is going to go in for the house. Austria could have almost had infantry sitting here pouring a volley in as France is attacking here. But France is advancing in force. The only other place where it seems like France may have a tough time is if Austria forms up in a line right here. But France is closing in so rapidly. Look at all these nice volleys pouring in. We do have Austria pushing up. Yep, they're forming up a line with their line infantry, but it looks like France may try to bayonet charge. Yep. The counter charge, and they're countercharging that counter charge. This honestly looks like it is not going too well for France. A genius move, actually. They're stopping any reinforcements on this grenadier unit. Like anyone that tries running this house is going to stop by this line of tree. And then the counter volley here, point blank, right in this French unit's flank. Cause them a drop immediately. Austria has played very well, in my opinion. Now on this side, nothing's still happening. It is all right here, guys. Austria actually taking significant losses. And they're falling back now. The Pioneers still holding. They are shaken. There's 24 of the 55 men left. France bayonet charge this line of tree. It's a huge unit, and look at them go now. They're going to keep pouring in those deadly volleys on the French, making it very difficult for France to actually take this LOC. France may want to, if they keep taking more losses, they've already lost one grenadier unit. Oh, we do have some cavalry charging for the artillery. Nice flanking charge, holding them down. Dragoons charging in, stopping those chevaliers, and you better believe this artillery is going to turn and shoot point blank at the Austrian cavalry. can be very deadly here. But the skirmishers do break, and oh my goodness, Austria throwing in cav against the likes of France, using, actually, holy smokes, they are doing an amazing job. More French cav now have to run over here to kind of defend this artillery. This huge gap made. More cav charging in. It does look like these hussars and dragoons may be massed up here, and Austria may start taking some losses here, as this is turning into an all-out cav fight here. France still not looking too good, but now they're throwing dragoons. Oh, this Spanish cav is going to go really fast. It is terrible. The Cuirassiers in this fight, I mean, it's not a bad thing to send the heavies in against the French heavies, but you don't want to exhaust them. You want them really used against French infantry. But yeah, this fight's still raging. France is stubbornly still pushing an attack on this town, pushing up even more and more infantry. What kind of line infantry is this? I like it. Looks very cool. But yeah, France has taken some heavy losses here. Now, France also seems to be finally holding off a little bit here. Oh, please don't run your Cuirassiers back in a fight. Pull them out. They're active. Rest them up. It does look like we have some cav engagement here from Russia, though, along with some infantry pushing on that flank. So cavalry charging in against some lines, maybe some skirmishers. France is inching up here against Russia. Russia is very spread out, and they're about to take a full-on engagement against France, and they are so spread out. He's shifting reserves over to this side. In the center, this cav fight, oh, did they lose? No, they're going to lose their Cuirassier. That is such a waste, in my opinion. That is a waste of cavalry. Man, they're throwing more and more cav into this. Holy smokes. The cav fight never ends. It is a constant throwing cav on both sides. Both sides have lost significant amounts of their cavalry. Now, looking at this, it does look like there's one French army here. Ooh, we have a engagement over here as well. Russia taking a cav fight. Dragoons versus dragoons. There is a flanking charge by Kazakhis. Well, it wasn't even needed. Russia took that cav fight very well. Did lose some skirmishers. They are fighting for the house. This is actually a very tough house for the enemy to take. But, oh, it does look like Russia may not. No, they have skirms. Ooh, yikes. Those skirmishers definitely going to lose, and Russia will have to fall back away from this, losing it with barely much of a fight. But what I was trying to say before, and man, the cav is still going at it. More and more cavalry. Dragoons now from UK charged in and took out this artillery piece, so maybe something worthwhile as more heavies now push forward. Austria still fighting in this town. Nothing seems to have changed. There is some vicious hand-to-hand combat in the streets. Austria has committed quite a lot of forces. Looks like Russia did lose this. But Austria still maintain. Oh, no, they don't. They lost it. Oh, shoot. So now 6-point Tyrol, plus another French army, plus another one here are all focused. And, man, the UK are so far behind still. Now, the cavalry seem to definitely have finally switched in favor of the coalition. They have way more cavalry on this field. My concern is now Russia is definitely a little split up. Now, he can reform, and he is. He pulled back. I think that was a very wise tactical withdrawal, pulling back from this LOC, taking the loss, momentary loss. He can group his men up around this LOC, fight around the buildings, hand-to-hand combat, maybe something he excels more at. But he still is spread out along a very large front. He's facing a French army here and here, and look at this mass battery. Now, the one good news about this battery is it is so far away from the other side of the fight. And if it stays here, which looks like they put stakes down, so the Russians could smack them on the side. Austria and the UK could push this side, and this artillery is going to be very, very wasteful. What I mean by that, I mean they're doing a good job right here, focusing on cavalry. They should have moved it a little bit more central, like here, so it's kind of dominating both sides. Because right now, it can still fire on the Austrian line, but it's not going to be doing super effective work here. Now, the coalition definitely has a huge cav advantage right now. And you can see they're pushing forward the masses of Austrians. Almost reminds me of that painting here. Beautiful. France holding their ground. So they have reinforcements, 6-point tie roll, a very, very overpowered, not in a bad way, but a very powerful 6-pointer. One of my favorite factions to play. He's rolling into the center to kind of help out here. France is not taking a whole lot of infantry losses. Now, we did have some cavalry movement. They did go for the artillery piece. That was probably not a wise decision. There's no way this thing is not heavily guarded. But Russia may be in a pickle. If France was very smart here, they could push this whole faction here and squash the 10-point Russia in a 2-pronged attack from here and from here. They could at least catch part of this Russian army that's stuck here. The artillery should do well for Russia defensively, but in the long run, oh, what is the UK general doing here? Why? Maybe he's trying to make them think he's over here, and so it'll force France to be a little more cautious while the rest of the army's pushing up here. Because that's really odd to have the general over here, but it may throw the French off, actually. That's a little deception. I like it. Being a little deceptive, a little tricksy. Oh my gosh, this poor unit of French infantry just getting obliterated by the artillery from... I almost said Sweden. Wow. My brain, I apparently did not get enough sleep today. But yeah, France is going to push forward. Now, this is España, which I believe it is. They have a lot of troops, but they're very small regiments if they drop the good quality stuff. So it is very good, but it will die very quickly against, you know, volley fire, skirmishers, infantry, all that stuff. Austria is making a questionable push, I think, on this side as the artillery, as you can see, is able to plow right into the flank here. I would hold this line here and push the left side. Oh, is that heavies pushing forward? They still have their crosshairs, thank goodness. I'm not sure what Austria is doing here, but they are dying. They are dying so fast. Austria, get your men in gear. They are dying. This officer needs to, like, you know, he needs to get his men all formed up. They are dying so fast. Look at the morale issues already. France pushing forward here. They're going to get a nice volley off. A 6-point tie roll is going to exert a lot of the steady French volleys. Nothing's still happening over here, guys, and the UK still haven't showed up. So keep in mind, the French have, I believe, almost their entire, if not their entire force on the field right now. All the generals are up. Yeah, so France is all here. Oh, there's some movement here. 6-point tie roll sent their cavalry in on the left side here, breaking more infantry, or they're running down infantry that broke. Who knows? Either or, but 6-point tie roll is pushing up some infantry here. It may try to go for a flank. Austria is holding this street corner. This is actually a pretty good position. I would keep them right here. I wouldn't push them back a whole lot more. In fact, I would have these crosshairs ready to charge in against the French as they're pushing up. I mean, if you fall back, your artillery position may have to fall back. I think the Austrians definitely could have a lot of damage they can inflict on the enemy. And I think they're going to keep doing it here. Focus down the small units that France has. But what is crazy is how much Austria has been fighting without their other 10-pointer. And the other 10-pointer over here doesn't... I mean, there's been a little bit of cav engagement, but man, this has been a slow advance. France has been very cautiously moving here. And this is quite a big army he has. But they are finally on the move. Ooh, that's not a good shot at all. That was so super glitchy. Oh, interesting. Okay, wow. So Russia is leaving a small delaying force here. The rest are pushing up. Oh, Austria, please tell me you see these spikes. Please. What are they doing? They're going to lose the whole front line. Oh my gosh. How could you let that happen? 12 out of 73 left. That is negligence on the general's part. I mean, that is negligence. I'm not actually trying to bash the player, obviously. Yeah. Maybe his resolution just didn't see it. It's possible. I've lost general to stakes before. But Austria totally retreating now on this flank. With the UK coming up, what are the UK doing? That is the question. Oh, they're forming up. They could be moving troops to the border. They could have had a lot of these troops right here already, and they could honestly be taking up some of the spot for France against France and shredding this line. Look how, I mean, they've already taken some losses, guys. France has already taken losses here. They are engaged. Russia is going to be fighting a retreating battle over here as well, as France may try rolling past. I feel like they have to take this. But Russia could actually counterattack here and maybe do a lot of damage. Now, we do have an engagement. We have infantry pushing forward. Oh, these skirms are going to die again. It's unfortunate. But we may actually have some cav charging forward for the artillery position. Oh, no. Oh, no. He's going to, yeah, he's going to, well, oh my gosh. No. This artillery. However, with the stakes finally taken, France will get the win here, taking out this probably a very expensive artillery. So Russia did not die in vain, or at least their cav did not die in vain. Now, the UK are pushing forward. Oh man, what's happening here? Oh, excellent. All right, so they're catching the 6-point tie roll. I mean, he is going to try to make it to the guns. But he does break. And wow, got thrown back quite a lot. Now I'm assuming the running is the skirmishers in the town. If not, oh yes, Russia is using this whole LOC to get the French kind of tied up in a melee fight. Now France may try running around this, but you can see he's actually stopping to take this fight. Russia is also pushing forward a lot of troops here to engage and kind of pick apart the French. Oh, how did the artillery not break? That is, well, here goes another cavalry unit pushing forward here. Oh, did they lose the LOC? Yeah, they did. Oh, well, that's going to put another wrench in the plans for Russia. And now he's going to have to fight once again a delaying fight here. He does take some losses here with those grenadiers, unfortunately. This is another grenadier unit. It's just too many French units, guys. France is rolling along the entire line, and Russia just needs to get themselves out of there. He's trying to use horse cav. We finally have Dragoons going to take out this artillery once and for all. Now we're checking over here. Oh, that artillery did break. Can't tell what's happening here. This fight for France seems to not know what to do right now, unless they're waiting to see how this attack on this flank goes. How did this cavalry die again? Anyway, horse artillery doing an excellent job. Ooh, I would focus this unit down. Most assuredly focus that Carabinieri unit down. You can see Russia still retreating, and ooh, they have another defensive position. They don't have the bridge, but they have the river. Is this a heavy? Oh my gosh. France has been going so slow. This cuirassier and artillery could really be used against Austria here. Man, the coalition still have a big chance to defeat the French over on this side, especially with the UK pushing up. They could encircle this whole French side. And then by the time this France gets up after fighting Russia, they would have an entire united coalition. You're not going to catch them. But it's a worthy try, but the horse artillery are really good at firing, limbering up, and running away. You see Russia's actually falling back here. His artillery, though, is probably going to inflict some damage on this France, who's quite honestly, they've broken what, 1 or 2 cav units, a grenadier unit, in a skirmisher, 2 skirmishers. That is all they have done. Russia has the majority of their army still. Now we do have that big flank by the UK. They have some Portuguese infantry along with a couple UK units pushing forward, but that artillery somehow is still alive, guys. Somehow. Oh, it's guard too. That's why it never broke. It's guard artillery. The guard batteries are kind of broken. But that's, of course, just my opinion. But I do believe they're broken. They're high morale, high rapid rate of fire, and as you can see, excellent accuracy. Looks like we have Austria advancing here as France is being forced to fall back. They actually may catch the French out. If Austria moves quickly enough, they could actually push out here, collapse this side. They just got to be aggressive at this point in time. Ignore the artillery and push forward. Or sometimes the phrase is, suck it up, buttercup. You know, just face those guns and get to the enemy position. Oh, what is this? This guard is wasting their time too. Man, France is being so slow here. And I can't believe the coalition isn't trying to utilize the fact that a whole massive army of France is just super delayed. They've almost linked up too, though. Austria, if they push forward right now, this whole line could shred up the French. I truly believe that. They could shred up the French unless the French have tons of troops hidden in this LOC, in this town. They can roll forward and just outshoot the Imperials. We'll see what they actually end up doing, but both sides have been a little more passive. In fact, you can see this UK isn't even all firing. They could be pushing a lot of this line forward, especially this good quality UK force. The UK are being goaded into an artillery charge, or charging the artillery, and they are losing so much infantry. Oh, the cuirassier charged. And they broke them. What? How could that happen? How could France allow that? They probably will come back, but still. How did that happen? They must have got like an artillery. Yeah, they probably got a nice artillery blast right here. And that broke a very exhausted unit of cavalry. Very, very useless very early on into the engagement against Russia. Because this fight against Russia is not over by any means. It's not even halfway over. The unfortunate side of this is the UK seem to be not pushing very effectively, and they keep dying here. You can see there's a bayonet charge by the UK. France being very smart about defending their guns. And I guarantee you're going to get canister off before this UK infantry even gets close. And they can just keep shredding this coalition line. And with fresh reinforcements, these guys are probably all going to die against that artillery piece. Now, see, this is what I was saying. Austria pushing up. France is getting just destroyed. Look at that. They are just dying so fast. They just got to keep pushing forward. They have won this battle on this side. They just got to keep marching forward and don't let the French retreat. This center still a little bit iffy, and especially over here, Russia is fighting a very, very tough fight and repelling the French to keep charging across the river. Oh, they're doing a beautiful job of holding back this French army. Man, France is losing so many men. And they have 3 guard units, I think. Yeah, they have, oh, sorry, 4. Maybe just 3. 2, actually, with 2 light infantry just sitting on this side shooting. They probably will shred up this light infantry, but not before these guys hold them off long enough for the rest of the French army to cave, which would be amazing. And here we go. These brave 4 regiments are going to face the wrath of the Imperial Guard artillery plus line infantry, and they are going to die. They're just literally lining themselves up for target practice for this gun crew. Now, there is a bright side. These guys have taken some pretty heavy losses, and there's only one gun that's being manned right now. You see this Russian-French fight in the background while the UK battle is out on the center of the battlefield. We got some dragoons shifting up. Austria better have something to counter the cavalry. If this Austrian center crumbles, then this actually could be a huge blow to the coalition. They are winning quite easily on this flank. Yeah, France cannot hold on long enough. Surprisingly, the dragoons charged in and actually caught units out of square. That is shocking. The UK must have been busy elsewhere. And, yeah, Russia over here still fighting. Oh, they bayonet charging. What is happening? Oh, UK. Fire. Oh, nice. They countercharged. Oh, man. The UK are getting destroyed by Cav. How is this possible? Oh, this UK army's dead. Unless he pulls these 4 units back immediately. France can just bayonet charge him. And over here also, look at this. I mean, Austria has really pushed forward quite a bit, sending in the cavalry cuirassier versus France's square. They seem to be closing in for the melee. But at the same time, their right flank is getting focused down by 6-point Tyrol, and the UK in the center are breaking. And a little too late, they are falling back as France is bayonet charging them in the back. I guarantee you this is how these cuirassiers got killed in the first place. Look how they're just holding them in place and volleying them. Now, he is, well, I can't tell where these cuirassiers are actually attacking, but he probably needs to send these grenadiers in to bayonet charge them. This unit should be able to fire. I feel like this unit is engaged. I'm not sure. Honestly, this cav unit looks like it's not really pushing any significant place. But now a bayonet charge on the flank of France. France trying to finally break through Russia. And Russia holding bravely, but we do have the Imperial Guard in lights. Trilliers and Chasseurs pushing forward here against Russia. As the UK looks like they're starting to crumble. Is France made a breakthrough? They have. So they are finally tipping the scales back here, pushing the flank. Beautiful flanking charge.
Our men are running.
6-point Tyrol trying to shift. This battle is kind of shifting into 3 different fights. You have the Russian fight over here. Russia just fighting a retreating battle. Although this could easily turn into a rout for France if they are not cautious about how they do this. You have the UK in the center running away as they've taken some heavy losses. And then you have Austria fighting a defensive fight on one side of the line and then attacking the other side. Although, look at this. 6-point Tyrol still in the LOC. Still has troops over here. So even though France may be losing the line fight, they seem to be holding on to most of the LOCs. And there's about 24 minutes remaining in this replay, which means LOCs are a thing that you need to start talking about, at least. Each point seems won, except for this 2-pointer in the way back. Yeah, but the coalition only hold this 1 point versus a 1, 2, 3 points for France. Oh, Austria getting charged in the flank by France. Get a nice counter volley here. France is going to utilize this square in the line here, though. Austria has a point of contact where they're unable to keep shooting directly at the enemy. And France is going to utilize that. But France is getting repulsed, which is a good thing.
Our men are running, sir.
Oh my goodness, Russia is taking quite a lot of casualties now, but we're still managing to hold on. They're managing to hold on somehow. But more French troops now pushing forward to help. Oh man, they're sending in Carabiniers.
Our men are running.
So Russia could definitely take some heavy losses here. Looks like they're trying to... Oh, they broke them. Did they canister them? Oh man, Russia is starting to cave.
Our men are running, sir.
These Cross-the-Air still running down the French. Man, the French are breaking, guys. This could still easily be a win. I mean, Russia really took the fight out of this French army. As you can see, I mean, most of the units are gone now for Russia. And Russia has some skirmishers and line infantry and their general, and that's it. But still, looking at how many French troops are left here, this army has had its claws taken out. Its Cross-the-Airs are gone permanently. The only heavy cav I think the French had. We have artillery still. And France is just rolling back. Now, like I said, if the coalition doesn't do something, I mean, they can take this LOC. That's perfect. They have then 2 points. Walk someone back to this 2-pointer. You have 4 points. Easy win. This unit right here could fall back. This unit here could go to this one. You know, it's just take them LOCs. Because Austria, man, they've done recently. Austria's been doing really well in all the replays I've had. They've been doing beautifully. Oh, 6-point Tyrol getting hit by more dragoons. As Austria starts rolling forward still, this poor remnant of France is gotta fight a retreating battle here, and hopefully the rest of France can come over and reinforce them. The UK seem to have stopped here, keeping their distance, just giving some fire orders. That's not a bad idea, you know? The UK's strength is shooting. But there goes 6-point Tyrol. Just gone. The rest of España is pushing up. But at this point, they are just seeing what looks like a massive confusion. And they're seeing French troops running. If you saw this, you would have to know what was happening. It's very obvious.
The entire unit is dead, sir.
But like I said, guys, and this more 6-point Tyrol already still in this town. So if Austria doesn't deal with this at some point in the near like 10 minutes, the LOC is not going to matter. We do have Russia actually going in with some grenadiers for this LOC, trying to take it back. Oh, they actually are winning here.
We have killed their general, sir. Now they must break.
Okay, Russia took one of them back. Still holds the other one. So now, if we're counting these right, I don't know if France still has this LOC or not, but we have 1, 2, 3. If Austria just pushed the troop into this house. Versus 1, 2. So it's dead even right now. But France is falling back. Russia's gonna have to rest of those grenadiers because they're about to be needed once again. So they're pushing up. These skirms actually, or these light infantry could definitely. Oh, look, they pulled them into a trap and they were getting shot at by these skirms.
Running, sir.
But they still broke. Russia could easily lose these 2 LOCs still. And these skirms are definitely going to lose, so France is going to take yet another LOC. Coalition, though, victoriously. I mean, they have plenty of forces. They could win this. Did that artillery piece ever save itself? No.
Our men are running, sir.
6-point tie roll. There we go. Skirms took it. Man, France is holding these LOCs, guys. They're doing quite well. This grenadier unit looks like he's pushing down. Oh, is he going for the artillery piece? Sneaky. Sneaky, sneaky. The French definitely invested a lot in their artillery. We'll see if it actually ends up paying off. Oh, this brave artillery crew. This old guard artillery. Look at them facing the odds bravely. This is it. This is the last one. Look what they're facing. One last Vive la France for them. Come on, fire one more time. Do it. There we go. Fire! Fire! Oh. The last 2. Well, they probably did a lot of damage. Probably was worth it, even if they lost him now. Yeah, this feels like it's kind of a delayed battle now. Oh yeah, Russia took out the artillery piece with barely loss of a man. I'm gonna fast forward just a little bit here because it looks like France is kind of throwing up a little defenses here or there. The coalition's just got to roll forward, take some LOCs real fast. The UK can push forward, take this one. Austria take this one, then push up, take this one. Easy, easy win.
This building has fallen
Especially
to the enemy.
if where? Yeah, they took it. Especially if they just sent these units back to take this one. Oh yeah, this is a 3-pointer. Right here, Laura. Take this one. They have what? 4 units of infantry. Just push them up, take this 3-pointer. Oh my goodness.
We have killed their general, sir. Now they must break.
Alright, well, that's my prediction right now, unless the coalition changes their minds really quickly here. They are going to lose LOC. This 3-pointer plus this LOC plus the one way over here, and who knows if they hold this one, they hold this one as well. They will have way more, and the coalition will have thrown away everything. Granted, of course, it's only the UK and Austria left. The Russians are gone. But yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I don't have a whole lot of hopes. Doesn't like the coalition's even noticing this. And the French will win LOC victory. Yep, see, all the windows got burst open, they took it. Tactical win, I'm assuming, for the French. Now they lost the field, I would say. So I always count 2 different victories, and definitely the coalition won the tactical, the land battle victory, but they did not win the strategic LOC victory of the thinking ahead kind of a thing. They basically gave up this entire side of the map, and I don't know why they're running these troops away, but they are. They're pushing them away from the enemy's LOCs. You can see actually Russia looks like they're trying to go for the 2-pointer. Yeah, he's totally taking his general over to this 2-pointer to maybe help out his allies. Yeah, they're going to go for this LOC. Oh, we can play here. France seems to have a very strong position here, though. Oh, yeah, they're going to eat up the Austrians. There they go. They break 2 of them already. Oh, man, that was brutal. I wonder what our UK is even doing. There's nothing in front of them, you know? Unless they're trying to push the flank of France. They have 8 minutes to do so. But even here, the UK are not, I mean, the Austrians are not forming up in a line of battle. The first, what, 4 lines maybe are shooting. They could form up in a longer line. So there may be some fighting happening over on this side. That's brutal. Yeah, look at this. France is actually fighting around the LOC now. Let's see if you can get a counter volley in here. Start picking off this regiment. Oh, too late. The Austrians realized it's 6 minutes. It's a little too late for them to push. I push everything over, but yeah, it's gonna be too late for them to not realize. They should have kept that 3-pointer. The UK are just dying here. Austria is forming some weird lines here. And the French managed to hold on to this LOC still. I'm going to fast forward here. It's a big old shoot fest. I just want to see if, I mean, Russia is going to take this LOC. The general could take this one. That would be 2, 3. It's not as much as their 1, 2.
We have taken a building, sir.
Alright, so now they have 1. And they'd have 2, 3. They'd have 3, and just like this one. If they take this 3-pointer, easy win. Easy, easy win. Right now, the French have these 2 plus the one in the town plus this one. So they have 6 points right now to the coalition's 3. This general's definitely gonna make it there in time, so I'm gonna count that once they have 3. We'll see. Maybe Austria can make it here. Maybe they can take this LOC. Allied general has been killed. Oh my gosh, the UK lost their general. And Austria, yeah, they formed these weird columns, and they were able to shoot to save their life. The UK should honestly push up for this LOC at this point, and hopefully... Oh, what is happening, Austria? Just charge in. Just go for it. Oh, there's a minute left. Oh, okay. Well played by France. They definitely knew when to focus on the various things. But yeah, there's a 2-pointer over here and a 1-pointer. Russia literally has the only LOCs on the coalition side. And that's it. So, all right, guys, we'll get to the stats here in just a second as it's counting down. Coalition actually lost almost all of their army trying to hit that LOC, so France had some more. So I'm just going to say it's an Imperial win in a stalemate on the infantry side because both sides still had infantry left. But here is the Russian army. Those Grenadiers on the top of the scoreboard for kills, and then the horse artillery, or this is how it's running the horse artillery, 110 kills. They must have gotten some canister across the river. But let me pull up the results for the rest of the players, guys. Just give me 1 sec. Hey guys, so here we see the battle. You see on the Austrian side, you have 2 Austrian players. Not sure which one was on which side. The first one with 1195 for the kills. Lannister, the UK, 968. Man, he took some heavy loss. They all took heavy losses. Then Data L set this one in with 1307 for the kills, most on his team. And then the other Austria 8-pointer with 1154. On the other side, 10-point France, España with 1236. 10-point France, Austria with 2219. Another 6-pointer with 1008 kills, which is really nice for a 6-pointer. And then a 10-point Austria with 1066. So that'll be the results of this battle, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all so much for joining me. Yeah, you have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and I'll catch you all in another video.